Have you ever just stared? Stared at the blank document? Stared at the overflowing inbox? Stared at the gym bag sitting by the door? You know exactly what you need to do. You've written it on your to-do list. You've thought about it all day. But there seems to be an invisible wall between you and getting it started. That feeling, that resistance, isn't a character flaw. It's not that you're lazy. It's neuroscience. Your brain is literally wired to conserve energy, and hard, unfamiliar, or ambiguous tasks look like a massive energy expenditure to your primitive brain. So it throws up that wall of resistance to protect you. But what if you could hack that system? What if you could lower the wall, not with brute force willpower, but with a simple physics-based method? Today, I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that using a concept I call the activation energy method. This isn't just positive thinking. It's a practical, step-by-step system to force your brain to engage with the hard stuff. The science of starting to understand the method, you first need to understand the metaphor of activation energy. In chemistry, activation energy is the initial spark needed to start a reaction. Think of a match. You can have all the wood and oxygen in the world, but without that initial focused spark from striking the match, the fire won't start. The wood just sits there. Your hard task is that pile of wood. Your motivation and good intentions are the oxygen, but you are missing the spark. The activation energy required to start a hard task is incredibly high because your brain perceives it as a threat of failure, of cognitive overload, of discomfort. So what do we usually do? We try to motivate ourselves. We try to think positive thoughts. But motivation is fickle. It's a feeling, and you cannot rely on a feeling to do a hard thing. The key isn't to find more motivation. The key is to lower the activation energy required to start. We need to make striking the match so easy, so frictionless, that your brain's resistance doesn't even have time to kick in. And that's where our three-step method comes in. The three-step method to lower activation energy. Here is the three-step activation energy method. You'll want to take notes on this. Step 1, the micro-commitment. This is the most important step. You are not committing to the whole task. You are not even committing to 25 minutes of work. You are committing to a ridiculously, laughably small version of the task. Don't say, I will write the report. That's a bonfire. Your brain panics. Say, I will open a new document and write the title. Or I will write one single sentence. Don't say, I will do a 60-minute workout. Say, I will put on my workout clothes and step onto the mat. Or I will do just 2 push-ups. The goal here is to make the commitment so small that saying no to it feels absurd. You are tricking your brain's threat detection system. By the time it realizes what's happening, you're already in motion. Step 2, engineer the environment. Before you need to start, you must remove every single point of friction between you and that micro-commitment. Your environment is either a source of friction or a source of flow. If your task is to study, your micro-commitment might be read 1 page. So the night before, you engineer your environment, you charge your laptop, you have your textbook open on your desk, and you put your phone in another room. You have removed the friction of, I need to find my charger, I need to find the page, and I need to resist my phone. If your task is to go for a run, you don't leave your shoes in the closet. You engineer your environment, you lay out your entire running outfit, shoes included, right by your bed the night before. You lower the energy required to get out the door. Step 3, the momentum bridge. You've made your micro-commitment. You've engineered your environment. Now you execute the micro-task. And here is the secret. Once you do that one small thing, you have created a powerful thing called momentum. Newton's first law applies to our brains too. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. It is infinitely easier to continue a task you have already started than it is to start a task from a dead stop. So after you write that one sentence, the natural question is, well, what's the next sentence? After you do 2 push-ups, you think, I could probably do 3 more. You are no longer trying to start a fire. You are simply adding a little more wood to a flame that is already burning. You build a bridge from your tiny start to the larger task. And you give yourself explicit permission to stop after the micro-task if you really need to. But 9 times out of 10, you won't want to, because you've already overcome the biggest hurdle, the initial start. This method works because it respects how your brain is actually built. You're not fighting your biology, you're working with it. You're lowering the wall instead of trying to muster the energy to climb over it. Your brain is powerful, but it can be a terrible manager. You have to be the engineer. You have to design the system that lets your brain succeed. So, I have a challenge for you. Think of one thing you've been putting off. Right now, what is the micro commitment? What is the one tiny first step? Tell me in the comments what it is and what your micro commitment will be. Let's make this real. If you found this method helpful, if you can see how applying a little physics to your productivity can change the game, then do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching. Now go lower that activation energy, and I'll see you in the next one.